What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to the movie review. And you can't really guess what movie we're reviewing today. It's like right here behind me. So I kind of wanted to do this since I have the DVD and the the Blu-ray and the PlayStation. So I thought I'd have this as a little backdrop here. So Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed is very different from the first movie in this. The first live-action Scooby-Doo movie, since it goes for a more traditional Scooby-Doo type story, with familiar actual monsters that we've seen in the past of old Scooby-Doo series and things of that nature, which is really cool of a concept. The fact is, the things in this movie, though, didn't go according to the way I thought it would. That's don't know what I'm saying. I've seen it 1,000 times. A lot of people, I don't know what I'm trying to say. A lot of people thought this should have been the type of movie we got first, then the Zombie Island movie. But after rewatching both movies, I've actually realized I kind of like them the way they are, that this is the sequel. Just because of the fact that, I don't know. And the fact that this movie actually was planned from the get-go to be a kid's movie, unlike the first one, it feels a lot more like a kid's movie than the first one did, because you don't have all those unnecessary filled adult jokes. There's some in there, like one or two that I noticed. But the movie actually is, well, I'm talking about CGI. Let's do that first. The CGI in this movie, in places it's better than it was in the first, but in other places, the CGI doesn't look as good. It looks kind of worse. Now, do I let that take my enjoyment out of the movie? Absolutely not. I had a lot of fun with this movie, probably more than I had with the first one, and this is probably one of my favorites I've reviewed so far. Even though this also didn't do well like the first Scooby-Doo movie did, but it's still a rather enjoyable film. I had so much fun with this movie. It's so much fun to sit and watch this movie again after seeing it so many times in the past. And looking at it with a critical mind, the fact, though, my critic standpoint didn't change on this movie after this viewing, because I thought it would. Now, I do see the criticisms, but like the first one, there's less that I don't understand. Like, I understand the hate on the first one more than I understand the hate on this one. Like, yeah, there's fart jokes. I can't stand those either. There's fart jokes in this. There's less fart jokes in this than there were in the first one. And yeah, there's still adult jokes in this one. And this movie, it works better for if you want an actual authentic Scooby-Doo experience in live action. This works pretty well for that. And the CGI doesn't look too bad. The comedy at some point is really good. I had a good few chuckles while I was rewatching this movie. I had a good few chuckles while I was watching it. And legit, I just had fun watching the movie. Like, this is a good movie in my opinion. And a lot of people are going to hate my rating that I give for it, but I'm giving this movie a 4 out of 5 because I enjoy Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed. It's a good film. I don't care what anyone says. This is a good movie because I had fun. And I don't think I'm blind by nostalgia goggles, because I look at movies critically now, and I don't see. Because in my opinion, when a movie uses tropes, it's not a bad thing. It's really not. Like, sometimes it can be, but this movie, it does something really interesting, how bring all these monsters in, instead of taking one monster from the Scooby-Doo universe, which I don't think would make sense for a big theatrical film, and throw them into, because the fact is, they're building off the nostalgia of, and there's even references to other Scooby-Doo movies, and I say movies, in this movie, because there's a big scene at the end of the which is Ghost, where they're trying to get this book around, and like this tree is trying to grab the book back to at one point, and this was doing the control panel in this movie, and there's a little reference to that. I really feel like that was a reference. And there are other callbacks in this movie, and just the fact that these they act more like Mystery Inc. in my opinion in this movie, and they act more like their characters in this movie, and I feel a lot of enjoyment out of this movie. It's really a fun film, and I don't know if did I give a rating for the first movie? I think I gave it 4 for the first movie as well. I don't remember. But anyway, this movie is fun. This is a fun movie. Like, I don't have any problems with this movie. Well, I do have some. Like, the fart jokes, obviously. Sometimes the pacing can be a little fast. And I don't like how stuff from the first movie isn't brought back up at all in this movie. Like, I wish, like, there'd be a mention of Shaggy's love interest from the first movie. Like, maybe it's a mention, like, hey, they don't see each other anymore, or anything like that. Or maybe even a nod at Velma's love interest, which I didn't mention that in my review because I really didn't remember it. But I still would have liked a little nod, because I'm a big fan of continuity. Well, if you're a brony, you'll get that reference. But this movie is not bad in the slightest. Like, I've seen way worse than this. I've watched worse Scooby-Doo movies. I don't understand a bunch of the criticisms these live-action movies get. They're not awful. They're actually very entertaining, very fun, and I actually really enjoy watching through these movies because they're a lot of fun. And the fact is, Shaggy is freaking fantastic in this movie. He brings his A game for this one. Like, yeah, he's good in the first one, but in this one, like, I think he upped his game. He's a lot more fun, and like, I do feel a lot more, especially when they're going through the manor in this movie. I get a bunch of classic Scooby-Doo vibes in this, where like Scooby and Shaggy are grabbing up the stuff and putting it up against the door, and they're grabbing stuff from the Black Knight Ghost. I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's funny. And I actually really enjoy that. And like, there's a scene where he gets hit, the Black Knight Ghost gets hit in his no spot, I guess you could say. But with that being said, though, that was a little cringy joke. But the majority of this movie is entertaining. I don't really think there was anything in this movie I hated or that made me groan or made me angry. I'm not even joking. I had so much fun with this movie, just even with rewatching it after so long. Like, this movie is rather entertaining, and that's the whole reason why I went out and bought this Blu-ray double pack of both movies. Like why wouldn't I when these are good movies? I really don't hate. And the fact is, their wardrobe, for some reason, reminds me a good bit of Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Not Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? What's New, Scooby-Doo? Which is probably intentional because the show, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, was airing at the time this movie came out. So, the fact is, this is just a great movie for a Scooby-Doo fan. I don't see how fans hate this movie. If you grew up with Scooby-Doo, I don't see how you hate this movie. It's a lot of fun. Like, yes, it has its problems, and I do get some of the hate that this movie gets. I do get some of it. But the fact is, this is still a good Scooby-Doo movie. It may not feel 100% like Scooby-Doo. The CGI might not have aged the best, but I don't think this movie is terrible. I don't. I think it's very fun, and it's just a good time. This is a good, like, popcorn movie. You just want to get you a bowl of popcorn, sit down with the family, watch a movie. This is a good movie for that. And since we're in quarantine right now, why not? Why not go rent it, or if you don't have it. If you do have it, if you have it on VHS or on Which, by the way, I'd love to have a VHS copy of this movie because I didn't even know there was a VHS copy until I found out about a month ago there is. I actually really want a VHS copy. But if you have any copy of this movie, sit down and rewatch it. Like, it's not as bad as you probably remember. Because the fact is, this movie is just enjoyably fun. I don't care what anyone says. These are really, these are good movies. Both of them are good. The second one just brings the ante and just is so much fun. I don't care what anyone says. These are good movies. And I want to know what you guys thought of Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Let me know down in the comments. I'm really curious what you guys thought of this one. The next Scooby-Doo movie is Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. I'm probably about to watch that now too, because I still have so many of these movies. In total, including Scoob, there are 45 Scooby-Doo movies. And I still have a lot to go over. So, let's just say I have over 25 I know to watch. So, let's just enjoy these movies, because being in quarantine right now is the best time to do stuff like this. So, the next one is Scooby-Doo. I'm not gonna. This isn't making. As of recording this, I've already uploaded, I think, 4 reviews. I don't think I'm gonna upload any of the other ones I've pre-recorded already. Some of them will go up tomorrow. But I'm gonna make another video to space it out because there's a buttload of Scooby-Doo reviews, so I'm going to try to space some stuff out. I got to get back to the Disney Channel reviews, which there are a lot more Disney Channel movies, I do believe. So hopefully I can get to those eventually. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!